Mario Kart Wii has 32 tracks in total, with the majority having ultra shortcuts. Executing one of these requires you to skip key checkpoints, which will result in record-breaking laps, and they range on all levels of difficulty. Some easy enough for everyone, and others challenge the limits of what is possible. Today we are playing Variety Pack and using the 200cc Feather game mode. I am going to try to ultra shortcut every single track in the game, but to make things even more difficult, I am gonna try not to drive through any of the other key checkpoints to skip the maximum amount of track possible. I'm even overlaying the mini-map. The green lines are the key checkpoints. We're only gonna go through the last one and the finish line every single lap. The way ultra shortcuts work is once you skip the first key checkpoint, you only have to hit the last one and then you're good to go, as long as you're behind the finish line without the game knowing. Technically, it's an ultra shortcut only to skip the first key checkpoint like you're seeing here on Toad's Factory, but the goal, like I said, is to skip the maximum amount of every single track possible. Thanks to the feather allowing us to bypass invisible walls, this challenge does sound pretty easy on paper, but something tells me that is not going to be the case. This is going to be a little bit different than the last challenge we did, although being on 200cc will make it possible to clear the first half of Luigi's Circuit with just one feather, and then from here I could just aim to the finish line, use the last two feathers, then back up just a tiny bit, reverse, stand still mini turbo, and it counts the lap. Just like that, we skipped every single checkpoint except for the last one. What's really good about these checkpoint maps is they're actually accurate with the red line too, so we have a pretty good understanding of what we're dealing with when it comes to the checkpoints for the start lines and getting behind them and making sure we can fool the game. Like, this should count the lap for sure. And yeah, it works. So we'll know if the red line extends really far out. That means that we have to go super far wide before we take liftoff. So as you guys probably remember, we did not defeat the challenge last time on 150cc. We were not able to defeat the first lap of every world record. We got all of them except for Grumble Volcano. We were just down a few milliseconds. I tried for over an hour and I was not able to defeat it. Oh, we did not get Mushroom Gorge there either. Let's try again. But this challenge is a lot less stressful for me because I used to have to always try to beat these world record times. Some of them were so good even with the feather. This is gonna be so much different. There we go, we got it. Toad's Factory is gonna be really tricky. Just seeing where the first key checkpoint is, we need to make sure we build up speed. Thanks to 200cc, we can get a mini turbo right here. And then my goal is going to be to use 3 feathers and try to land all the way on the other side over here. Oh, that was pretty close. And if I can land on that U-bend on the bottom right corner of the mini-map, then I'll be able to skip all of the key checkpoints except the last one, and this way we don't go through the first one. We're gonna save state right here, because that way I can build up the mini turbo, and then maybe get the right angle, which this is a pretty good angle. We're not gonna have enough distance. We got very close there. So we're gonna start it here. We're gonna keep trying, and I'm doing a TF input every single time I use my first feather. That I think is gonna help me quite a bit. I was really close there. We're already really close. This is a good starting point, I think. Some of these we're just gonna get first try, and others may take half an hour or an hour to figure out. The good thing is most of the tracks have ultra shortcuts that have been figured out with mushrooms on 150cc and 200cc. Granted, some of them use like rapid fire or just like absolutely insane methods to pull off these ultras. However, the feather allows me to bypass invisible walls, so that should really help on a lot of them. There's only a couple I'm concerned about. I think Desert Hills would be near impossible. I'm not sure about DK Mountain. I'm not sure if that one's possible. And then there's a few others that we'll see when we get there. Okay. This challenge is gonna be very interesting. Oh, so close. This challenge is gonna be very interesting because we're trying to skip every single possible checkpoint in Mario Kart that you're allowed to skip. You can never skip the last one or it won't count the lap. So this is maximum. Trying like a perfect ultra shortcut, perfect break Mario Kart run right here. That's essentially what we're doing. And you know, it's such a random game mode, 200cc feather, but then I was thinking about it, I was like, this is actually, wow, perfect timing. Middle of sentence, I think we actually just got it, ladies and gentlemen. Now we can, of course, shoot for the stars. Oh, we did not get enough speed there. It actually counted, oh my god. So right here, use the first feather, get underneath the track, super easy and obvious. And then right here, We use the second feather to bypass the second to last key checkpoint. Usually when you're doing the ultra shortcut, you don't worry about this, but this is just part of the challenge. We have to find ways to bypass all of them. So what I'm gonna do is use the first feather, then use the second feather once I've ridden the mountain for a little while. And now we know where the last key checkpoint is. It's pretty much right where we are. We just have to go back to this Goomba, and now we've hit it. So we've skipped the second to last key checkpoint that the world record on 150cc time trials always hits. And now we get the lap count. For Coconut Mall, we go through the first key checkpoint backwards. So we go through the first key checkpoint, then we just go through it backwards to untrigger it, and now we just go hit the last key checkpoint while going around the finish line. We just have to obey the 95% rule. If you don't play at least 5% of the track, it won't count the lap. And voila. Not as exciting as the last two, but Coconut Mall nonetheless. It's kind of hard not to hit the second to last key checkpoint on DK Summit. This is a track that doesn't have an ultra shortcut on 150cc to my knowledge, even with tool assist. So the feather makes this possible because we can bypass invisible walls. This is gonna hopefully work here. And the idea is that I'm actually not hitting the second to last key checkpoint, only the last one, which is located on this corner right here. Let's see if this counts the lap. No, it did not count. Okay, let's try again. I feel like this is probably gonna work. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get it with only 2 feathers. Unbelievable. Let's see if this works. I'd say 50-50 chance on this one. Oh, it actually worked. Wow, okay, we're not gonna get any better than that. We cut so much. I do not think I hit the second to last key checkpoint zone, but it is possible I did. It was pretty close. Regardless, we're gonna move on. It's funny because we have a few freebies in here. We have to get creative on a lot of them. But then tracks like Wario's Gold Mine show up, and there's really nothing to it. Very simple strategy here on Daisy Circuit. All we gotta do is the same exact strategy that the tool assist record does. So first we bypass half the lap, and then we go and bypass the ending. We hit the last key checkpoint at the end over here, and there's nothing else to it. We only needed 2 feathers to completely ultra shortcut Daisy Circuit. There's a couple different ways we can go about doing Koopa Cape, and the finish line does not extend very far out. So this was like the first idea I had. Oh, that was way too perfect. Oh my gosh, I could not have done that any better. I cannot believe that just happened. And that counts the lap, wow. But I'm looking at the map here, and it looks like because you have to look right in front of the green line to where it extends to the blue line, and that zone right there, I definitely am in that zone as I'm tricking. So that means I technically hit the second to last key checkpoint, which means that we have to get a little more creative and do the respawn like we did last time. It's not gonna look as cool. You know what? I guess it's up to interpretation. Oh, we're not gonna get that high up. Oh, that was pretty cool. Is this gonna count the lap? There's no way, right? Does this count? No. We're gonna give ourselves a little more space here. Okay, that's 2. I have another feather I can burn anytime. I wanna try to land it here. Oh! Okay, well, I didn't have to do anything. The game just said, here you go. That was fun. Is this gonna count? Oh, that was perfect. This challenge is all about, you know, skipping the most amount of checkpoints, but that isn't always the fastest way to go about things, which is really interesting. It's something I wasn't really thinking about too much when I decided to do the challenge. I was like, oh, I just want to 100% break the game on this game mode. That would be really cool. It's gonna be really tough. I'm not exactly sure how I'm supposed to do this. I'm going for it. I mean, there's a chance that that worked? No. I just came back from a lunch break, and look at this. It doesn't get better than this on Maple Tree Way. We are not gonna get a better clip than that. So I was just theorizing different ways to do the shortcut after my lunch break, and then I wasn't even recording, and I managed to get this clip. So this is the replay here, and we're skipping the last corner as well. And from there, we did not go in any of the regions where the other key checkpoints are, to my knowledge. Pretty crazy. I still can't believe we got this. All right, on to Grumble. Grumble Volcano is a sad track. Let's be honest. Look what I'm doing right here. Now, they learned their lesson, obviously. Nintendo did not have a single ultra shortcut-like thing in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe over 96 tracks, but this game is completely broken. That is not even the normal rock that you do the ultra shortcut on, but Grumble Volcano has 2 rocks that you can do an ultra shortcut on. The first key checkpoint is so close, to the start line, we are gonna have to get a little bit clever here. I'm going to get up against the finish line, but way over on the slope, and then horizontally skip the first 2 corners here, land where the bridge is, hopefully. From here, we'll be set up perfectly. We'll be able to just probably skip right back to the finish line after we do this maneuver. Since the first jump only took 1 feather, I think that we could definitely get back to the start with the other 2 remaining feathers. Yeah, oh, this is gonna be easy. And now the last key checkpoint is just right here on the slope. We are good to go. Now I'm just gonna do this roomless shortcut, finish in style. Oh, I got no air. All right. And perfect lap count, 1 minute 31. I think this is the best spot for Moonview Highway. I don't think the finish line extends very far out. This might work. Feels a little bit too easy though. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, let's try it again. I'm gonna do a little further to the left. See if maybe I'm just a little too close to the actual inbounds. That's very possible. I'm gonna go as far left as possible. Oh, this might work. I'm barely landing at the end of the track. This might actually work. All right, let's see what happens. Oh, this would be incredible. We'd skip every single checkpoint except for the last one. I have ran out of ideas. We're gonna try this. This might work. Oh, I think we're gonna get it. Yes. The only thing is I am going through a couple of the key checkpoints. We're not skipping the maximum amount of track like we've been doing on every other shortcut. I just can't think of any other strategies for Moonview Highway, and I've tried a lot. It just doesn't seem like anything else is possible. This will work though. This should be one of the easiest ones. I gotta make sure I don't cross into this first key checkpoint region. But from here, I just use my feathers. Gets me to the end of the level. Looking at the checkpoint map, there's only 1 more key checkpoint located right up here at this ramp, and that's it. Might as well use the last feather. It's pretty surprising that there's no more key checkpoints at the end. Only 1 at the whole entire second half of one of the longest tracks in the entire game. For Rainbow Road, I have to make sure that I am still in that first checkpoint zone when I cross over to the ending here. Okay, I think we're good. The main thing not to screw up there is to fall out of bounds. It could easily happen. It can happen when you're way high up in the air. Okay, we did get the lap count. Rainbow Road, one of the hardest shortcuts usually on 150cc, but totally different story with the feather. So the initial ultra shortcut, super easy on Peach Beach. Bam, we just ultra shortcutted the track. However, the second to last green line, I want to be able to also skip that. And just looking at the mini map here, I have to line up my flashlight with Funky Kong, and then I have to look at these lines here and see if this is doable. So if I go off at this angle here, this should completely skip where the second to last key checkpoint usually is. And from there, we just have to hit the last one, and the last one is gonna be right here. If this counts the lap, we only hit the last key checkpoint, or drove through it would be the more correct terminology, and looks like it actually worked. So my strategy here is just to wheelie off the edge and then start using my feathers. And I think this will work because if I just try to cut half the track where the egg is and land over where the second waterfall is, I will be driving through the region where the second key checkpoint lies. But if I did this correctly, yeah, I only went over the last key checkpoint. Just absurd. I remember this was one of the hardest ones to defeat the lap 1s of the world records. We know how to do it now, so we're just gonna go here, and it should take just 2 feathers. Then we just go and cross to the finish line. Not anything special with the time, but it's all about just making the most with the ultra shortcuts and skipping all the checkpoints. For my knowledge, this is a tool assist only shortcut in the regular game. But in Featherland, it's a different story. Bonk. All right, this should work. Last key checkpoint is right here in the pipe, and the one before that is on the bottom right corner turn. And yeah, it works. There's a massive second key checkpoint which extends all the way out here, but we were still in the zone of the first key checkpoint, so it didn't matter that we were crossing through it backwards or anything. So far, Moonview Highway is the only track where we did not get like a perfect score. Every other track we have been able to pull off the ultra shortcuts. This one should be easier than ever. Don't have to do any pull clip. I could just do this. And from here, we did not end up going through the second to last key checkpoint. Just a very simple lap, obeying the 95% rule on Sherbetland. Finish line actually does extend a decent ways out here on Chaga Beach, so we will respect it. And there we go. Make sure we go out to where this line is here. And then from there, we will make sure we get the lap count 100%. Got a couple easy ones here. Out of every single track, Delfino has 7 key checkpoints, it looks like, which might be the most. It's definitely one of the most. And it's a track that does not have an ultra shortcut in Mario Kart Wii that is done humanly. I don't know if there is one that is done by tool assist. Most of the tracks have one with tool assist, thanks to the rapid fire and the super hopping and all of the other crazy sort of tool assist like maneuvers they're able to do. But yeah, we got a lot of easy ones here. Nothing really too crazy in the Banana Cup. Maybe Waluigi Stadium will have something crazy. But yeah, overall, things are pretty smooth sailing right now until we get to the Leaf Cup, Desert Hills. I think that's the track I'm the most scared of at this point, but this challenge is going pretty well. What? Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I've never seen that before. Did it really? Wow. Whenever people ask me what Mario Kart item I'd like to see in the next game, I'm always gonna say the feather should come back because just look how much fun we're having. This is just endless amounts of amazingness. We're just having way too much fun right now. Yep, that counts. All right, Banana Cup was the easiest so far. This is gonna be the hardest one out of all of them, at least top 2, unquestionably. Now, the way we have to do this, I've seen a tool assist of it from way back. The way you have to do this in order to skip the entire lap is to bonk off this red cage. I'm not kidding. We changed to outside drift because the first key checkpoint is so close to the starting line, we're gonna have to really finesse it to fool the game to get behind it and to skip the entire lap. Otherwise, we'll have to do what we did on Moonview Highway, and that is just not optimal because we know this is possible because tool assist did it. Oh, we changed our trajectory. We're going up. Oh, okay, so I'm gonna be trying to hit the side, and that is gonna be the key. That was the side, but I want to land over to the right. This is gonna take more tries than the rest of them combined, I'm guessing. That was a really good attempt. We got really close right there. Okay. 2, 3. We're getting close. We're getting close. Go, go, go. 2, 3. This might actually work. Oh my gosh, I actually landed it. Wait a second, wait a second. Is this gonna work? Go, go, go. Oh! We got the lap count. This only took me like 5 tries. Are you kidding? I thought this would take so many tries. I was ready for this to be the hardest one by far. Wow, 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 wow. We are going to get the lap count and skip the first key checkpoint simultaneously. Perfect. All right, now that we did that, we need to get back behind the start line and then just go hit the last key checkpoint. That's all we have to do. 1, 2. And then the last key checkpoint is just right here. Let's see if this counts the lap. I don't know any other way to skip the entire lap. Ah, it didn't work, okay. We have a little bit of a challenge with this one, but we're using our first feather with this angle to bypass the first key checkpoint. I think I wasn't doing it correctly before, because now all we have to do is just get behind the finish line checkpoint and hit the last one. And I think with this angle, we should be able to do that and have enough speed to do everything we want to do. 1 feather, 2 feathers. And now we're just gonna land at the finish. Pivot 180, see if this counts the lap. Here we go. It did not. Oh wow, I'm not sure what to do on this one. So what we could do is we could drive through this key checkpoint here and then do a massive shortcut up here and this will make us bypass most of the key checkpoints on BC3. We are gonna have to go through the last 2 ones, so we technically drive through 3 of them. Obviously only the last one is loaded, but we drove through 3 on the racetrack. So this is a similar story to Movie Highway. We only skipped about half the track, still an ultra shortcut, but not a full lap skip. We are almost at the end. We kind of have a perfect score. We still have 2 tracks, you know, we didn't get the full lap skip after BC3 now, but we still have ultra shortcutted every single track, and this one is usually a very hard track to get the ultra shortcut in base game, but when you're playing with the feather, anything is possible. Bam. We have to go for an angle pretty far out here on Mario Circuit. Let's see if this is enough. Oh, this might be perfect. Oh, right into the Goomba. Wow, that's hilarious. This might actually be perfect. Besides the Goomba, of course. Oh my. So this one, which is completely unglitchable, no ultra shortcuts by even tool assist on, you know, vanilla, should be very easy because of the invisible wall thing with the feather. I'm pretty sure that is it. Yeah. Hilarious. Peach Gardens is going to be relatively simple, I'd imagine. I think we're just going to be aiming over here towards the front porch and using all of our feathers. And this way we are only going through the last key checkpoint. I'm not sure if it's gonna count the lap, but it was pretty close. Ends up counting. Okay, perfect. This one is gonna be harder than the rest of them combined. I have no idea how we're gonna be able to glitch DK Mountain. I just have never seen anything like this. The first key checkpoint looks like it is right on top of the starting line. It doesn't look like there's any other key checkpoints until after the cannon, and then there's 2 giant key checkpoints. Like what is going on? I'm so confused looking at this. The first key checkpoint is right on top of the finish line. So I would need an angle, something like this. I don't know what I'm gonna do on this one. The first key checkpoint is literally right on top of the starting line. So we'd have to do something like this in order, oh my gosh, that was ridiculous, in order to make it work. But I don't know how this one is even possible to make an ultra shortcut on. So once we get to right here, we just need to turn around because this is where the last key checkpoint is. Absolutely ridiculous. I guess if you want to ultra shortcut proof a track in the future and you want to keep the checkpoint system like Mario Kart Wii, you just got to make the last key checkpoint extremely far away from the finish line. I mean, this is so funny though. So I doubt this will work. Yeah, so this does not work, and now I'm already out of ideas. I do not think we're gonna make an ultra shortcut work here. All right, that is my last good idea. The respawn point is crazy. The chance of this, I'd say 5% at best, but we're giving it a couple more tries, couple more good tries, just trying all the different angles. I can't think of any other way to make an ultra shortcut. All right, the moment of truth. Nothing. Wait, this might be it. Oh my gosh, I'm actually landing all the way over here. I don't think this will count the lap, but the fact that I actually landed up here with 3 feathers is ridiculous. This is definitely the closest chance I've had thus far at getting a lap count. If this doesn't work, I'm pretty much out of ideas at this point. DK Mountain has the best checkpoint system, even though it makes no sense. It just seems to work out really well. The cannon also helps. Here we go. No. Well, that is cool. We have seen it all, ladies and gentlemen. Delfino Square, I thought I saw it all, and then we just saw that on DK Mountain. I don't think this will count as an ultra shortcut because I went through the first checkpoint, I went through the second, I went through the third. I didn't technically skip any of them, so that was a respawn glitch, but definitely not an ultra shortcut. BC64 will be easy, but we are defeated at the very end of the challenge. Grumble Volcano defeats us the first time, DK Mountain defeats us the second time. If you look at the last key checkpoint for BC64, you'll see it's over the ramp, over where the lava is. But it also extends in front all the way to where the castle is on the right over here. So you just have to go to right about this location, and then you are at the last key checkpoint. That is it. We have almost defeated the challenge. Just like that, 31 out of 32 ultra shortcuts, and we got 29 out of 32 full lap skips. And definitely check out Variety Pack. There's a lot to offer here: custom tracks, game modes, and everything else in between. This is our second feather challenge video we've done. Let me know in the comment section if there's any other time trial-esque challenge videos you would like to see. Oh my gosh, did we really just clip both walls? Wow. But the last two, extremely fun. Anything of this nature, let me know, and maybe I'll make it happen.